Hello and welcome to the Movie Podcast. My name is Shahbaz and I am joined by my two other podcastees, Daniel and Anthony.
Hi there.
Daniel, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
You know, another day in paradise.
Another day in hell. No, it's May. It's good.
May.
It's not hell anymore. It's good.
It's May now. It's April showers bring more May showers, I think is what the word is.
I think April showers bring May
Did we have a lot of April showers?
snowfalls.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of rain.
Did we see the sun in April, first of all?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah, we had some really sunny days.
Yeah, and then it snowed like immediately afterwards.
No, yeah. We have been getting like a snowstorm every April so far.
I feel like people who forget like the weather in Canada is usually the same, no matter like it's like every year it's like, can you believe it's snowing?
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
April? Like
it
that's
always
normal.
does.
It always
Yeah.
snows there's always been an ice storm in April.
Yeah, it's just like we tend to forget a lot.
Yeah.
about our weather.
We try to forget. That's I think the thing. We try to forget. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's a gloomy day here in Toronto, but just I'm here. I'm enjoying your company.
Do you normally see the second T, or was that just for the audience?
It's for our American audience because
Okay.
they love to say Toronto. Toronto. I like to say T.
Yeah, you like to say T.
T.
I remember. I don't know if I was with you or with somebody else. But
It was us.
It was
together,
us. Yeah, we were in California, and we were at a store, and this lady asked, "Oh, where are you guys from? You have an interesting accent." And we're like, oh, "That's new to me." First of all,
Pardon me, we sound the exact same as you.
Yeah, I was
we
like-
were in San Francisco.
we were in San Francisco, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Toronto," and she's like, "Oh, Santorino," and I'm like, "Whoa." Almost none of those letters
No.
of what I said. And I'm
Toronto.
like, is Santorino a place? Because
Santorino is a
sounds like a place,
Yeah,
right? I'm
Santorino
like,
is a
oh no, like Canada. They're like, oh, I've never heard of that place. I'm like, Toronto, Ontario. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, sorry, Toronto.
Oh, Drake.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
okay. I've heard of Toronto, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess that
Interesting.
second T really makes a difference.
It does. It's like I don't know who this person is at all.
Once
Yeah.
I was told I had an accent, I was surprised.
Yes, I've been told many times
when I went
as well.
to do training in California. I was told that I had an accent. I never thought I would have an accent.
It all comes back to California.
Yeah.
always
You know,
California.
California is its own little bubble.
Judging us.
Yeah.
They also said that I pronounce words really nice. I'm like, man, I can't even speak. But yeah,
think I pronounce?
they were shocked that I could.
They
speak.
enunciate really well.
Yeah, enunciation was like I was like top 10 in their category. But,
Top 10
What?
ever in the history of the
What class
company.
was this?
and I said the word jewelry, and
They're like, hold on, say
were
that
like-
again.
Yeah, they said that. They were like, can you say that again? I'm like, jewelry.
Jewelry?
How else would you say it?
Jewelry? Jewelry?
Jewelry?
But the way I pronounced it and the way I like
Jewelry.
enunciated it sound
Yeah,
like
I would say jewelry.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Damn.
I'm
What
like,
kind of-
I don't have an accent. I just
Yeah.
speak like I don't talk like this.
I don't know what accent that was.
Yeah, I don't know what accent
was
that
it,
was.
that sounded like
Do you
you were
guys-
doing like Patrick Stewart meets like
I
a
don't know.
muffin in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time someone asks me to do an accent, I get nervous and some weird shit comes
Yeah,
out.
but
well,
why,
that's good.
who's
I
asking
get
you to do an accent?
Yeah, what
though?
is this happening?
You force me to
All
do
right,
accents all the time.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
Some guy
Well,
just
you guys.
some guy walking behind Anthony with a gun.
Accent check.
Accent time.
I always think of Homer Simpson. Like,
Yeah.
how do you do?
Hello, my name is Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Do you guys say any other words differently? Like I know that people say that we say about differently, but I think I say about normally.
I think we say about. Again, about.
About.
That's about.
But people are like, oh, don't you say a boot? And I'm like, no, who the fuck says a boot?
No, but I do. I think catch myself saying sorry.
I say sorry a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I do say sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like-
oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But like just
Yeah.
you're saying it.
Instead of saying sorry.
Sorry.
Who says sorry?
Everyone else.
I think everybody
sorry.
I say sorry.
I say
Like
sorry.
the game.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
That didn't prove your
doesn't help
point. Yeah, that didn't
anything,
prove your
though.
point. The game's not like
the game has like the phonetic spelling of it. Sorry.
S-O-W. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
sorry. Sorry?
Yeah, I think I say sorry.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I guess I don't know.
What
I guess
can you do?
I guess we do have accents. But yeah,
That's what I think makes our show so special. You know, it's like we're the movie podcast, but also you got to we're foreign.
We're for it. We're a little exotic.
You know, we're a little exotic to their
Do
the
you
voices.
Say a lot because I say a lot.
A.
Yeah.
No, but I don't. But I say a lot, but I don't say it like. Oh, what about like? You
don't say it in
You
a-
want to get them horns, eh, bud? Like
No,
I don't say it like that.
I don't say it like with such vigor into it. Like,
You know?
I don't, like, it's not like that's. I'm
I was
going
like,
for
oh,
that
you like
word.
that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like I say, yeah, eh? Like,
Yeah,
but
I don't like that.
like a
Yeah.
Toronto
Yeah.
man.
Toronto
right?
man's like a
Yeah.
six man's.
Yeah, because usually when Shay says something, I'll
Yeah,
say,
you do.
yeah, eh?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm like,
judge-
hey, Anthony, have a nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
do your accent, Anthony. I don't want to.
offensive to
It's
me.
getting more and more
Yeah.
racist
It's
every
like-
time you
it's
say
like-
it.
It's like, it's like right at me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it.
What can you do?
Well, what can you do other than listen to a new episode of the Movie Podcast every single Monday and watch out throughout the week for our review episodes on all the latest movies and series. Make sure to follow us at the Movie Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter, TikTok. There's also Letterboxd. And don't forget, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We also have a Discord that you can kind of join, and we're having some great conversations on there about movies we're watching, things that are kind of happening in the world. People like asking us questions on there about what we do, so please join us there. And also, we will be getting to our mailbag pretty soon, but we do have a write-in at hello@themoviepodcast.ca. Also, if you're familiar with a certain website called youtube.com, we have a channel there. It's the Movie Podcast, and it's Anthony's pride and joy. Anthony, do you want to give us a little bit about what's going on YouTube?
Yeah, so whatever we talk about in our podcast will be on YouTube. and
I
wish I could
kick it over to you now.
I can get you guys kind of like always go to me for this, and I
Yeah.
feel like I see the same thing. But
Yeah.
pretty much like my
I
goal,
make the videos. Okay.
my,
Thanks,
my,
Anthony.
my goal is to eventually take what we're doing here, make it an actual video where people, we're just, the logistics of it doesn't make sense at the point right now. Like it's we don't have the setup for it, but eventually we will. But a lot of the stuff when we do virtual recordings, we can do video, and I'm going to start posting more of that up. For instance, Doctor Strange, when we do our interview regarding Doctor Strange, there'll be video related to it, like our polar bear interviews and stuff like that. So Daniel was looking at me like, don't say.
No, we can't. No, here's the thing. We're going to say it in an announcement. So
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It'll be
Yes.
happening soon.
Yeah.
The words.
I just said Doctor Strange interview. We could be interviewing a cat who's Doctor Strange.
who's on the set of Doctor Strange. You're right.
Oh,
Who's a
yeah.
stray
What
cat?
else happened?
Oh, yeah. Do you know the polar bear from Polar Bear? Oh, no.
That's where he speaks English.
That's what you say. Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's all you
like
can
it's
say.
fun. We it's again another revenue. We wanted to
Soon,
be
yeah. Revenue would be great.
It's just another avenue to connect with people around the world, and then have them connect to our podcast and just create this ecosystem.
I think when it comes to YouTube, we want to be on as many platforms as possible to access our show, right? So we have people who listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you find our show. Even through just socials, there's people who just engage with us strictly through socials and only see the clips and everything that we upload there, and that's great. Wherever you engage with us, we're so thankful for it. And I think YouTube's just another avenue to getting our show and our episodes out there.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of people who do the review calibers that we do. Usually it's like, oh, I'm reviewing Marvel shows, or I'm reviewing DC and movie series.
Yeah, but we're the movie podcast.
But we do everything. We do Marvel, we do TV, we do those obscure, like The Duel. We will have everything, while others would just kind of like...
Yeah, it's a bit more
niche
tailored,
area.
right?
And that's the beauty where we don't see a lot of, and I think we can grow those numbers exponentially.
We like to be diverse.
100%.
We like. I just want to throw this out there as a wild idea. We like movies.
Hold on,
I think that's kind of where it all stems from, right?
That's
like
bold for you to
like. No
assume.
matter what kind of genre the film is, we're gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
So we like movies. Thank you for that. And again, you can check out our show notes below for all those links and more. We do have our mailbag. Anthony, do you want to cue up my sound for me?
Do I do this?
Don't you cue up the sound a little bit? Like, don't you do like a little,
Let's just press
yeah.
mailbag, and then you go.
I've never done this before.
Oh, okay, I thought it was just.
It's Daniel who does.
Wait, why'd you twist someone's head?
That's the sounds we make,
Yo,
right?
here's your mail.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
a new
There's that
one.
accent he
Here's
does
your
again.
mail, boys. We got some mail here today from Ruben. Ruben writes, "Hey guys, long-time listener, first time writing in. With Patrick Stewart set to reprise his role as Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, I have a question for you three. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of comic book movie performances?" Where's Mount Rushmore? Is it in the United States?
It could be.
I'm just kidding.
You don't pronounce the second H in that.
Mount Rushmore, is that how we pronounce it as Canadians? Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier is an all-timer for me, alongside Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Wow, he really didn't let us have it.
We have no chance now.
Left. Yeah. Thanks so much, and can't wait to hear your Doctor Strange review this week. Ruben, how many people are on Mount Rushmore? Is it 4 people or 5 people?
It's 4 people.
4 presidents.
4 presidents.
I'll take your word for it.
Maybe it's 5. But I would suspect
if you're American,
4.
write in. You could Google it, but I think it's Fed.
No, I think it's 4. I think
the thing is, who is on that mountain?
George Washington.
George Washington is one of them. Abraham Lincoln.
Ben Franklin. He wasn't a president.
But he wasn't a president.
No. I would say Jefferson.
Jefferson's on there, I think. Yeah.
And wait, but what is this question? The trivia of who's on Mount Rushmore?
No, but now we got into this.
now I gotta know.
All right, I'm gonna look it up for you guys.
Anthony, kick us off with who's on your Mount Rushmore.
So if
it's movie performances.
If it's 4, I gotta say.
Are you saying heroes and villains included?
Sure.
Whatever you want.
Like any comic book.
Any comic book performance.
Comic book performance. So yes, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is one of them, because it's just he was fantastic in all his films, except the Wolverine.
X-Men
Origins
Wolverine.
X-Men.
Yeah, because the Wolverine was good.
Yeah, the Wolverine was good. Sorry, X-Men Origins. That was up in the air. Number 2. This is so hard.
I know it's hard.
It's because I don't want to mention Toby or like the ones that was Ruben mentioned.
I think Robert Downey Jr. is like, it's like he made Iron Man, and the MCU is successful because Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man.
Yes,
like that is why the MCU succeeded. So well.
So yes,
that's for me personally.
Well, yes, Tony Stark, fantastic. Robert Downey Jr. is number 2. I want to go with someone obscure.
So, and that's the thing where I'm like, okay, do we look at someone like Heath Ledger, who is the Joker, who defined pop culture for so many years and made the Joker, I think, brought the Joker into a new, millennium type of thing. Mm-hmm. And also, but it's only one performance, but it was so damn good. And I think it transcends that is the comparison. I think everyone always says, like, when it comes to like a performance in a superhero film, is like, but is it Heath Ledger as Joker? Like, people always he'll be like the litmus tests. But it's only one movie though. I'm gonna put Josh Brolin. As Cable.
As Thanos. Wow, okay. Just because his performance and his the way he attacked that role, even though he's all CG, like just the mannerism, the characteristics, the tone of the character, and the lines that he gives are so good. And I think it was the other day I was messaging.
We were talking about it,
man, like he's just fantastic.
Especially for a character who we saw glimpses of him in post-credit scenes. He had that little minute. He had a bit of a couple scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was really before he became like what he was in Infinity War and Endgame, who was probably one of the best villains we've seen in the MCU.
And I won't give Heath Ledger because he's only been in one movie, and I would probably give it to Christian Bale.
Yeah,
because his performances as Batman, and that might change one day. It might be Robert Pattinson, but right now Christian Bale as the Batman in all 3 films was great, great.
I see that for sure.
Other than the screaming voice, but just the presence, like the persona of Bruce Wayne was
he was great,
captured fantastically by.
How about you, Shay? Who are some of your choices that you throw on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, we've got, obviously, like you mentioned, we have Heath Ledger. I think that's phenomenal. Looking into it, Hugh Jackman from Logan, I think was really like the epitome of that role. Like, that was probably the best I think that he's ever done. I'll get Robert Downey Jr. He's really good too. I don't know. I think one of the ones that always kind of stood out to me was Michael Fassbender from as Magneto. From First Class. Even like James McAvoy as Charles Xavier was really damn good too. I'll put them both on there. One at one end,
one on the other.
Yeah. And then in the middle, maybe I'll throw in Heath Ledger. I'm trying to think who else really stood out to me. There's a lot. Maybe Jessica Alba from Fantastic Four.
It's a great choice.
Just kidding. I don't know. That's what's going to my mind right now. I really like a lot of characters from all these movies, and they've all done such fantastic jobs.
So you're saying, like Ben Affleck as Batman or Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
Gal Gadot is not anywhere near a mountain, to be honest with you. She needs to first become a better actress.
Yeah, she's standing on top of the mountain, and the music.
Gadot, no!
The music. Do you remember the score in Zack Snyder's Justice League? That anytime she'd come on screen, it's like, oh, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, look, I love Ben Affleck. I absolutely love Ben Affleck. And I think his Batman.
I put him up there as Daredevil.
phenomenal.
I like Daredevil. Daredevil was a good movie, man.
Yeah,
There's nothing
when
wrong
was
with
the last time you
Daredevil.
watched it? When was the last time you watched it? You sick bastard.
I think if it was 4K, I would watch it. I don't think there's
I mean,
a 4K.
I'll be honest. Seeing more pixels of that movie won't make it better.
It's
Some
gonna
good
help.
sequences in that movie.
There are some cool sequences in
Like
the
the church scene where he breaks the glass, or Bullseye breaks the glass, and he takes the glass and he
And
throw it.
like a deck of cards.
Yeah,
that's
but I feel like Ben Affleck is so goofy in that movie. Like he just
Is it because he's blind?
no, just because he's Ben Affleck in 2003, being goofy.
Being goofy. Yeah, I mean, I love him as Batman. I think he's wicked. But I don't know if I'd put him up there yet because I feel like he didn't get his full moment to shine.
No.
So. Yeah,
And he didn't get a solo movie.
Oh no! Don't tell people that because they think he did.
Make the Batfleck movie.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
What about you?
I think Patrick Stewart would be up there for me. Robert Downey Jr. as well. I think Robert Downey Jr. for sure has a spot. I'm trying to think. Like I was breaking this down and like in my head of like okay, am I going to do heroes? Am I going to do villains? I think Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin is
Melina as Doc Ock.
they're phenomenal. Like if I could put both Green Goblin and Willem Dafoe.
So wait, Green Goblin, and then also just Alfred Molina.
If I could put Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina up there, I think I would as just villains. That is like what you want to look at when you're making a villain for a movie. I'll put Robert Downey Jr. up there as well too.
What about Halle Berry as Catwoman?
No, I'll put Halle Berry as Storm.
You know what happens to a toe when it's struck by lightning?
Same thing as everything else.
Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else could we throw up there. I think Chris Evans as Captain America is just so damn good too. I think he's so good as Cap. Like or we could put him up there as the Human Torch, whatever you guys want to do. But
Cap is fine with me.
Cap's good.
Cap's
We're good with Cap. Yeah. There's a lot. Can we put more people on Mount Rushmore?
I don't know. Do Americans allow that?
No, because there's only one space for the 4. It was Roosevelt.
Yeah,
It was
I was
Roosevelt,
looking at George Washington,
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, so no Ben Franklin.
No Benny Franklin. No,
Oh, he wasn't a president.
he was not.
He wasn't a president,
No,
yeah.
he just. He
wanted to be, and I
flew
think-
a kite once.
He flew a kite once and discovered the bifocals.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he was trying to be president. I think he didn't
He was
make
trying.
it.
Yeah, they're like, hey, listen here, man. Go get some glasses, okay?
I got this key on this kite though. That's not a ballot. You can't vote that way.
So we don't want you to be on this.
You ever wish you could go back in time and just meet these people and go like,
They wouldn't like
"What's
me
up,
that
man?"
much.
Like,
No.
what the fuck?
Probably
do
wouldn't
you
like us
do?
either. Like, oh, you Portuguese, Italian.
Yeah, but they'd be more okay with you.
Yeah, and then they'd see you and be like,
Dude,
People
but we
like,
would have
kill him!
We would
Get-
have
get a
technology.
spice.
We would have technology behind us. They couldn't kill us.
dude, we just pull out our iPhones.
Yeah.
and they'll just be like,
they would probably melt.
They would definitely melt.
for sure.
Dude, technology.
He's still holding a key with a kite, and we're all like on Instagram. We have service for some reason.
Yeah.
take a really long time to charge your phone back then, eh?
Oh my god, we have to use like what?
A key on a kite.
To charge our phones. All right, well, Daniel, how about you hit us with some? Well, first of all, thank you, Ruben, for that.
Thank you, Ruben, for that.
very amazing question. We're gonna assume you live in the United States because Canadians don't think of Mount Rushmore that often.
Do we have an equivalent of Mount Rushmore here?
Banff.
They say you could see the reflection of our prime ministers in Niagara Falls.
It's like
in the mist.
In the mist.
Don't we have like a giant penny somewhere?
Yeah, it's not that far from us.
Yeah, we have
There's a giant
penny.
apple in Kingston, is it?
Yeah.
Kingston. Yeah.
Like, on the road to Kingston, I think.
Yeah, on the road.
again.
Yeah, we don't put prime ministers on mountains. Like
No, we don't really. Yeah,
We hardly put them on money.
we're also not in the mindset of we never had like a revolution in our
No.
in our country.
No, we're
Like,
pretty quiet. Canada's pretty.
Well, we're
chill.
still under British monarchy, right?
Yes, we are.
Well, that was the whole thing
then,
about.
but not anymore.
But like we still
We still praise the Queen.
Yeah,
the
she's
queen,
still
right?
on our money, right?
she's still on her money, so we can't go to war without her.
She's like really. I think she's gonna outlive us.
She's gonna lead the charge, eh?
Well, no,
When
you have
the
to
next
ask permission,
revolution
right?
happens, you have to ask
I
permission.
think that's how it works.
what to do? What?
to go to war.
He's like,
Mum, can we go to war?
Wait, why are we British?
Because that's what you.
You mimic their accent.
When you fly to England, you don't get an accent.
You do right away.
Okay.
When you hop off the plane,
Just making sure.
it's like Severance. You all of a sudden start speaking in a British accent.
Shay, you asked me about some announcements.
I didn't.
Well, let
Next
me tell.
news.
Let's go to the news.
No, Daniel, please hit us with some announcements.
We have some cool announcements. There's some really cool stuff happening this week on the Movie Podcast feed. First of all, on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll be able to hear our spoiler-free thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, that is a big review. That's probably one of the biggest films of the year, and we are so excited. We're going to be watching it tomorrow or today, the day you're listening to this episode. But tonight. But that's not all.
Unless they're listening to it tonight.
Unless they're listening to it maybe like weeks from now.
What if they're listening to the same time we're in the theater?
Are these all the different like possibilities that Doctor Strange went to?
Yes.
To see? That's not all though. On Wednesday of this week, Wednesday, May 4th. Also, isn't that exactly 10 years after the Avengers movie came out, is it not? Well, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. This Wednesday, you'll be able to hear a very special episode of the Movie Podcast, where joining us on the show is no other than Sam Raimi himself.
Samuel Raimi.
And Michael Waldron, who's a writer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Sam Raimi's going to be on the Movie Podcast.
Wow.
That's pretty big for us.
Remember when we started the show, we said...
Wouldn't it be great if we had Sam Raimi on the show?
We would quit the show once Sam Raimi comes on.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Also, next announcement, the Movie Podcast is ending this week.
May 5th, next announcement.
Yeah, I mean, what more can we say about this other than this is something that we are just so grateful, first of all, to have the opportunity to do, but also for us as fans of Sam Raimi, of all of his films, it's very surreal, and I think we're still a little processing it still. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Pretty cool.
What was your first Sam Raimi film?
What was my first Sam Raimi film?
Yeah,
I feel like Spider-Man was my gateway into him. Then we have like the Evil Dead films. Drag Me to Hell is another one that I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember watching it, and I was like, I watch it because for a lot of films, like you have certain directors that are kind of your gateways into other films, right? We were just talking about this, I think, last week, where we're like, yeah, someone may watch The Batman, then maybe go watch Seven or something like that, right? Drag Me to Hell was one. He did The Gift, which was right before
Spider-Man.
Right before Spider-Man was another one. He had what was the Western one he did too with Leo? I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but it was a 90s film. I'm gonna pull
Quick
it up.
in the Dead.
The Quick in the I don't think so.
Quick in the Dead?
Is it Quick in the Dead?
There is a movie called Quick in the Dead with Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Sharon Stone plays the cowboy.
Yeah, and Leo DiCaprio plays the kid.
Yeah, that's the one.
Quick in the Dead.
Quick in the Dead.
Yeah, I mean Sam Raimi. I mean, what more can you say? He's an iconic director. He's directed some of the most beloved films of all time, and of course, he directed the original Spider-Man trilogy. Now he's back working with Marvel on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Anthony, how do you feel about Sam Raimi joining us on the show?
It's amazing. Like this is our caliber of people who we interview has gone up and up and up and up, and this is just, it's not my dream. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a dream that I even thought of. Like my biggest interview was Key, which was a couple of months ago. But like you can see that people want to be on our show, and we are interviewing people that are just, so you would have thought would have been out of our reach, and now we have them here.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi being on our show is just unreal to me, and yeah, I can't wait to see him and have him say welcome, like just have them
hello the movie podcast,
know of the movie podcast.
Yeah.
Like that's just
that's what's always so strange about it, right? It's like for no matter brief amount of time that they're on, it's like for those few minutes that you're talking to them, they know who you are, and I think that's what's really cool. And we always say how thankful we are and how much we love being able to talk to the humans who make the things that we love. So it's pretty amazing. Shay, how are you feeling about it?
It's surreal. I remember we discussed this a long time ago. Like, hey, wouldn't it be so cool if like there's a list of people that we have.
Yeah, we do have a list
that we keep saying. Wouldn't it be cool if we had this person, and so far we've been going through this list.
Yeah,
we haven't had an issue. And I think that's what's such a humbling experience, and it's so overwhelming to see that these people want to be on our show and that they are really excited to be on it too. And it's just wicked. It's a great. I'm so excited. I'm so honored.
And I want to say shout out to Michael Waldron as well too, who along with writing Rick and Morty and writing Loki, and we got to talk to Kate Herron last year about Loki as well too. He wrote Heels, which was one of my favorite shows of last year. So it's just he's a fantastic writer, and then he's also going to be working again with Kevin Feige on the upcoming Star Wars film. So it's pretty amazing. And
he also was was in the writers room for Community as well.
Oh wow, that's awesome!
Fantastic show. Absolutely love that show. And I mean, that show already has so many connections to the MCU with the Russo brothers. So yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah. So we're really excited to be able to share this interview with you. So make sure you check it out this Wednesday, May 4th. You'll be able to see Sam Raimi and Michael Waldron on the Movie Podcast. Yeah, pretty amazing. Some other quick news. Again, there's lots of amazing reviews and episodes that you could catch up on the Movie Podcast feed right now. Some great reviews like The Offer, Duel, and so many more. If you want to go back a couple episodes as well too and hear what's going on with Netflix, hear what's going on with the Discovery overhaul with the DC films and Warner Brothers, go check that all out. Also, we have merch that you could rock right now, and we want to say thanks to our friends at Bonfire for working with us on that. And if you want to help us keep the lights and the mics on, you can do that as well too.
Thank you so much.
That's all I got.
Thank you so much. Let's jump into the news.
Sam Raimi. Wait, we're not adding that to the.
We're not adding that one in.
Okay.
No. But we had a busy week, and we talked about this last week as well. This week was CinemaCon, or last week was CinemaCon. Sorry. So a lot of stuff came out. A lot of stuff came out from those halls in Las Vegas, Nevada. I almost said California, but California is
Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace. So Sony dropped a lot of stuff on us. They dropped some trailers, some information. They showed off, I think, like 15 to 20 minutes of Bullet Train, and a lot of the reactions from that were really positive.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. We saw, I think, scenes in a trailer from Where the Crawdads Sing, which is based on a novel. The Woman King, which is supposedly... who's
Viola Davis?
Viola Davis, that's it. And, I'm hearing a lot of buzz that this might be an Oscar contending kind of film for her.
I think anything Viola Davis does at this point now is just easy Oscar nom.
Except for Michelle Obama.
Well, like Widows.
Well, that's a show, luckily.
Yeah.
Widows, she didn't get an Oscar.
She didn't, but since then, I think she's been in the
I heard Widows. Sorry, not Widows. Sorry. What's the movie where
First Lady?
First Lady.
Yeah, the show.
The show.
Yeah.
What's with it? Like, why are people shitting on it?
I think people are just like aren't a fan of, like, we haven't seen it, of her performance as Michelle Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They announced Bad Bunny, the singer, will be playing El Muerte at some point in a Sony Spider-Man universe.
I think that's
film.
2024, and everyone knows this character, from the 2 comic book issues that he was
El
in.
Muerte. Where the fuck did this come from?
For every great decision Sony makes with partnering with Marvel Studios and Spider-Verse and beyond the Spider-Verse, they'll have something like this. This is the next Morbius. Yeah. This is the next, here's this random ass movie we're going to make. Do you think this is actually going to be made?
I don't know anymore, because now they seem so committed to doing these things. Like after Morbius came out, you'd think they'd reevaluate and be like, okay, yeah, that didn't do so well. Maybe we should stop.
They made so much money off of No Way Home, they don't care.
Yeah. Well, if you were looking at it as a business venture, you have a huge community of Latin Americans in the United States.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is huge.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny does wrestle, he's been in WWE matches.
Yeah.
So you're just let's make this happen. Let's see if it goes through, and you never know, it might happen. I'm
all here for it. I mean,
I hope it's good. I just hope it's good.
I'm confused, but you know what? Why be a hater when I can just accept it and just see what happens?
Be a lover, not a fighter.
Be a lover,
unless you're El Muerto.
It takes more to hate than to just let it go.
That took a while for you to say, but it's a lot for you to say that as well. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has now been given the Part 2 name as well. So the Part 2 name will now be Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Thank God, because I hate the
Part 1, Part 2.
1, Part 2 titles.
To a subtitle already.
Yes, because don't do that.
It's a bit much.
Yeah, but they also showed out about 15 minutes of incomplete footage as well.
From the beginning of the film, yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. So that's hype. We have more sequels to Venom. No one's surprised there. Those movies have been doing phenomenally in terms of box office. We also got some information on Equalizer Trace or 3.
Yeah, next year.
Next year, Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, we have announcements and more news about Ghostbusters. Will be getting more sequels down the road as well. So
cool. We'll see.
We're all here for that.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'll believe when I see it. Yeah. Exactly. Disney had a bit of a lighter year, and I say that as a pun as well, because light year and lighter. Lightyear was shown off. They showed off about 20 to 30 minutes of footage from that movie as well. I'm assuming it's the same thing they showed off to the press X amount of weeks or days ago.
Yeah, so there was a press Lightyear event in the States about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I believe it was the same.
I think it's the same footage. Disney kept it really straightforward. They just did a lot of previous footage from everything. They showed off the Multiverse of Madness footage that we had a chance to see as well, that we'll be getting into.
Yeah. So I mean, we can't say what happened in the footage. We did tweet our social reactions out to it.
Yeah.
We saw the first, I want to say 20 minutes of the film.
I'd say 20 minutes. Yeah.
It looks great. It looks has a lot of Sam Raimi aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot of fun.
It looks good. I think that's the best way we can say it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. When it ended, I'm like, I just want to see the rest of this.
You watch a movie, you go into it, and a lot of times it leads into like the build up and getting you hooked on. Within 15 minutes, you're hooked into this film.
Yeah.
You are totally invested, and I think that's where an audience would be really like engaged with this movie. Is like within 15 minutes you're on this adventure.
The pacing in this movie was phenomenal. Like, it was going so fast but so well that I was like, oh my god. And when it ended, it was like the biggest gut punch. I was like, why end when you can keep going?
You just show us the rest of it.
Show us the rest of it. So they showed off Lightyear footage, like I mentioned. They also showed off some sizzle reels, including like Wakanda Forever. I think there's some Thor Love and Thunder stuff in there as well. They talked about the new David O. Russell film, Amsterdam, I believe it's titled.
Yep.
They showed more stuff about the Bob's Burger movie, but also they showed off the trailer for the elusive Avatar, and it got its subtitle as well, The Way of Water. This is a sequel to Avatar, over 10 years in the making.
Yeah, it's like 15 years almost. It feels
almost,
like.
right?
Yeah.
Well, it comes out this year, so
it's 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
13 years later. So that's nuts. So we haven't seen any footage yet, but we will be seeing the footage before our press screening for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and they were giving out like 3D glasses and everything too.
Yeah.
So they said, was it John Landau? The producer, who said like there's going to be like so many different formats to watch this movie in the high frame rate option and 3D. I think there's going to be an option where they just beam it into your brain.
I think so. They have an actual Navi actually come to your house.
And you're just going to entangle your tail into it.
They will have sex with you.
They will. That's how they transmit information.
That's how they have sex.
Wait, who's having sex?
The Navi.
With me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You better grow your hair out, boy.
I don't know.
But yes, so we're going to be seeing that footage, and also you will be seeing that footage as well if you go watch Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness in theaters. I'm not confident though if it's exclusive to 3D screenings, because Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is also one of the few films in the past probably like 4 years that's come out that's in 3D.
Yeah, the last one I think we saw was
The Lion King. Yeah, so that was 2019.
Yeah. I thought that was the whole incentive, because they were going to show this trailer.
Yeah, so that's clearly the reason why.
I feel like, that it would only show in 3D.
I think it'll show in IMAX. I think in any format you see this. I think they're going to show this trailer in all aspect ratio, in all formats.
I think they will, but there have been times before where they've limited special,
just to IMAX, right?
Or just to like, this is only be for this.
Yeah,
so,
but I don't think they will, because this trailer is only exclusive in theaters for
a week.
Yeah,
it'll be online next week.
Yeah.
So you can catch it. Maybe next week is when it'll be available. Then I guess maybe all platforms. Maybe this week they'll just do 3D.
Maybe
that's also a possibility.
We'll see.
As well.
We're also seeing Doctor Strange this week in IMAX. That's not 3D. So I'm curious if we'll see it then.
So that's what I'm curious about as well. And then we had Paramount. This is the one that like got me the most hyped, I think.
And they showed the least too.
They showed the least, but they showed the best, because they showed off the sizzle reel, or like a bit of a teaser trailer for the next Mission Impossible film, which has been titled Dead Reckoning. What a name!
That's a fucking badass name.
Like, that's a tattoo. What'd you think of that name, Anthony?
Yeah,
you probably didn't like it.
It's a cool name.
It's a cool name. Yeah. I wouldn't tattoo it on me. Like,
why not?
I'm not
on your neck.
I'm not you.
On your neck, right here. Underneath.
I feel like you would tattoo it on your cheekbone.
I would tattoo it on my forehead.
I would tattoo my eyelids.
So one would say dead, the other one say reckoning.
Yeah,
and you close it.
It would be really small reckoning, you know.
Yeah.
Well, who would see it,
There's
though?
a lot of letters. Who would see it?
Yeah.
My enemies.
I would say tattooed underneath your eye, Shay. So when people look at you and are like, "Oh shit, he's my dead reckoning."
He's dead reckoning. Shay would put it on his eyelids. He's like, yeah, even when I sleep, people know I'm dangerous.
It's true.
Okay.
But that's why the boogeyman can't get me. It's true.
All right. But yeah, I mean, what more can we say about this movie other than we want to watch it now? We were supposed to watch this movie last year.
We were supposed to watch this movie last year. This is the most like feverish I've been for a film. Like the Dead Reckoning is I can't wait for it. But also, they showed off all of Top Gun Maverick. And boy, oh boy, were the reactions to the roof. I haven't seen a single negative reaction about Top Gun Maverick.
I can't wait.
Joseph Kosinski has absolutely killed it from what I'm hearing. Tom Cruise is phenomenal in it. And you know what? We can't wait to see it. We're going to be seeing it hopefully pretty soon. This is exciting stuff.
It's been 2 years waiting for this movie.
Mm-hmm. Like we were supposed to longer.
We've been waiting so long for this movie, so it's great. It's finally happening.
And Lady Gaga's doing
the song. So that's coming out this week too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's dope. So I mean, Take My Breath Away
is a banger, and also Highway to the Danger Zone.
The Highway to the Danger, that's an Oscar-winning song right there. So you know the caliber they're trying to get for this type of movie too, right?
Yeah. Pretty stoked for that. They also dated the Dungeons and Dragons film, and also they gave a subtitle to the Quiet Place prequel titled "A Quiet Place Day One."
Not a fan of that.
I don't like that. Not a fan of the subtitle, or just the whole.
I'm fine with doing a spin-off. I think if they wanted to do a spin-off of A Quiet Place, I think a series would have been much better.
Yeah,
especially at Paramount Plus. Do a Quiet Place series. Don't do another movie, because the movie, you're going to rely on the same tropes, and again, prove me wrong, but you're going to rely on the same tropes and plot points from the first two films. And we've already seen Day One from John Krasinski's perspective, right?
Yeah.
In the second film, and like this, I feel like this is just going to show too much of the world now, where what made A Quiet Place so special is that it just felt so isolated and you felt so alone in it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this is going to be. I'm not a fan of the subtitle, and then the movie existing itself, I think a series would have been a bit more of a place where you could expand a bit more and tell a bit of a better story, but we'll see. Again, I'm not rooting against this movie either. I'm just just like, what do we need? Like you guys are Paramount, I think, is just trying too hard to make it into a franchise where I don't even think 2 needed to exist. Like 2 is like a Quiet Place Part 2. Like I could just watch 1 and be fine. Like I don't need to watch 2.
No, I get what you're saying. When we walked out of A Quiet Place Part 1, we were like, that's it. That's how you end the film. Good. I'm satisfied. I don't have to go back to the world. And I enjoyed Quiet Place Part 2, and I know, Anthony, you also really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
Yeah, I know you hated it. So
I've seen it like 3 or 4 times since it's been out, and it's a great movie. But I just think it's just too much of the same of the first movie.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm confused on the lines of like, why did we need to build this universe even further? Like,
and we're getting a game too.
It didn't need to be
because
it didn't need to be
because a lot of the franchises that we are seeing are repetitive franchises.
Yeah.
And I think this is a new opportunity for literally a new franchise with a new story, and it's something that we haven't seen to actually grow into something, rather than seeing another friggin' I don't know what
Muerte?
Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
No, what's a franchise that just literally coming out with another
like Transformers?
Like Transformers.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's just strange because but it's just like this film just felt like A Quiet Place just felt so self-contained.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're doing this, and then we still have the third film that's coming out.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have rather have the trilogy be complete than go into something else.
It gives me vibes of Kingsman, for example. So we had Kingsman 1, Kingsman 2, and then we had this prequel film that had nothing to do with any of the other characters. So this is kind of like the same route that it's going down. It didn't work for Kingsman. I don't know if it's going to work for A Quiet Place, but
we'll see.
Let's see what happens.
We shall see.
We also had footage shown off from Transformers Beast. What were they calling it?
Beasties.
No, but that's what we called it.
That's what we call it. They should have called it that here too.
Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Beast Wars.
Are they calling it Beast Wars, or are they calling it Legend of the Beast?
Rise of the Beast?
Rise of the Beast, I think.
I'll find out for you.
Yeah, I think it's called like Rise of the Beast. Anthony Ramos, who from In the Heights and Hamilton fame, will be in the film, and they should have some cool footage from that. I think they had
Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, Rise of the Beast. Thank you, Daniel. So that footage is shown off. Also, Warner Brothers kind of came out, and we had Matt Reeves just kind of walk out and say, Batman 2, and then kind of like walk off stage.
See you guys.
Like, take care. I'm off to work.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, we knew it was coming, but it's nice to now officially know it's coming. Again, there's no doubts in our minds, but we're happy to hear that. First, I guess image. Yeah. Came out from Barbie. It's just Margot Robbie sitting in her convertible, or probably her Malibu Cruiser. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and that was and it was also announced it has the same date as Oppenheimer as well too.
Yeah, it's the same date as Oppenheimer.
Why? Oh, because they're like Warner Brothers pissed off at Nolan. Probably they're like, we're going to open up a movie on the same day as this movie,
and it's got a stat cast as well.
Yeah,
there's 2 stat cast movies on one day.
What do you think? Like a Barbie movie. What road can a Barbie movie go down? Like what are we trying to?
Since I don't know, that's what excites me. Since I don't know where it could actually go and what they could do, if they could make it meta, or they could go kind of a different route. That's what kind of excites me about it.
I don't think Margot Robbie would have signed up for this film if she didn't think there was some type of fucked up thing part of it as well too, right? In terms of just like there's probably going to be like a dark side to this. I don't think
so this isn't like
story. No, there's no way this is a kid's movie. This is going to be a movie that like you look at
14A.
Like you
NC-17.
You look at like Greta Gerwig's like filmography, and you see like Lady Bird, you see Little Woman. This is going to be something that's going to be a drama. This is probably going to be something that is going to be dark, twisted, and just also really funny. Probably too. Simu's also in it, which is really exciting, and Ryan Gosling. So I think it has an amazing cast, but there's something darker to this film, and I'm really excited to see what this is actually going to be.
Do you think it'll go down like the Malibu Stacy, talking about a doll that's the creator of the doll, but like what I'm saying? Like, do you think
like,
they'll
like
go
what
outside?
they referenced in The Simpsons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
I mean, they could. They definitely could. I think it might be more of like a fun film, but like. We'll see. We'll see what kind of road they go down. I feel like this is going to be like a bit of a genre change for Greta Gerwig, but hey, we'll see. We have no idea what this movie's about. Yeah. That first image is just so charming to look at.
Yeah, but I also think that's what's making me unsettled about it.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's something darker there.
That's also definitely an option that could occur.
Yeah.
We also had more footage shown from Elvis, the Wonka film starring Timothée Chalamet, friend of the show, I'd say.
Yeah.
They showed off more flash footage, and they had Olivia Wilde come on stage and talk more about Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, she was also served some papers too while she was on stage.
Yeah, she was served some papers as well. Lord. But yeah, I don't want to get into that.
The Flash, though, what's interesting is that they hardly showed any Flash in the footage, though.
No. Yeah, they don't want to show any Hawaiian beaters over there.
Yeah, so, but the footage ended, though, with Michael Keaton saying the classic line, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
Yeah.
So they're definitely going for the nostalgia.
They definitely are.
Nostalgia.
But it's interesting because people that, liked Michael Keaton as Batman, I don't know if they like the DCEU or like Ezra Miller as Flash.
No, I don't think they do.
So that's a very interesting way to kind of get them in.
And that's why I think where I'm at with this too, where it's like you have Michael Keaton coming back, which I think excites us, but it's also just like, why Michael Keaton? Like, again, like it's such an interesting choice because I don't think the new DCEU
acknowledging
like fan base, like I don't think they really it's Michael Affleck Keaton or it's Affleck or die. Mm-hmm. So we know Affleck is in this movie. He's probably going to die.
Yeah.
And then Michael Keaton's going to be take over.
How upset do you think they'll be, the Snyder fans, after this one?
This movie's going to upset everybody. I think everyone's upset at this movie right now.
I think at the end of with this whole Warner Brothers Discovery merger, whatever we get at the end of Flash it's probably not going to even matter anymore. And I'm so I'm worried about the whole world and what we're getting into. Not the world, like the DC world.
Oh, okay. I was like,
okay.
That's so,
what are these people possible?
So beautiful.
We have the Batman 2 coming out, but what's Discovery going to do with that?
Yeah.
What are they going to
Discovery knows that's the only thing that is people universally love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to double down on that. Yeah. And we're seeing Discovery also start cleaning house a bit. They canceled Batwoman. They canceled Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're going to
Which I heard had a following, though.
They had this is the 7th season. It has it's a really popular show still, right? So it's really interesting to see where we are with them. And I think Discovery's looking like, okay, why are we making shows for the CW, which we partially own, but we have a platform called HBO Max that we're not making original shows for.
Yeah.
Like pick and choose. Why are we that's the thing with Warner Brothers? They're so spread thin It's like start doing what every other company is doing. Make shows and movies for your own platforms.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. It's about time that they just kind of got some vision.
Yeah.
And like a path to kind of go down. Universal showed off some more Jurassic World Dominion. We got the trailer.
Great trailer.
What a trailer.
Really great trailer.
Cool
Yeah.
Did you like it, Anthony?
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's it. Dinosaurs.
You made a promise to a dinosaur?
Was that a little Texan accent?
Yeah, because the way he said dinosaur in the trailer too, he's like, you made a promise to a dinosaur? Like he doesn't say dinosaur. He says like dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
You know?
We also got news that Nope, primarily shot with IMAX, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's 2.5 hours long. So
Nope.
That's interesting. I've never, Jordan Peele's films usually aren't not that long. So that's going to be interesting to see what story he has to tell if it's that long of a film. We also got a fight scene with Laurie and Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. We were not fans of Halloween Kills.
Nope.
Most of the world, I don't think, wasn't.
I think it was that same thing where I think the same again. I'm going to bring up A Quiet Place Part 2 because it does the same thing where it picks up immediately afterwards, and you're like, you're not giving enough time to breathe and to tell a more interesting story, because I feel like the most interesting part already happened before this.
Yeah.
And this one at least I think takes place a couple years afterwards, right?
Yes.
So at least we'll have some time to breathe there a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure why we needed Halloween Kills to be an hour after. Like that was a really long night for everybody.
Evil dies tonight. They kept chanting.
It's also a polarizing film compared to the first one.
It's sillier for some reason.
Different.
Yeah.
Different from
it's
all
not as
aspects.
scary. Yeah.
Not as scary. It's cheesy.
It's cheesy. It's sillier.
It's not serious.
Yeah.
It removes everything the first one was good about.
It felt almost like at moments it felt like a parody of it.
100%. 100% felt like a parody.
Hopefully they go back to what they did with 1, and 3 is fantastic.
Yeah. And they, I think, talked about Easter Sunday and Ticket to Paradise. Then we had Lionsgate come out and talk about John Wick Chapter 4. I think they showed off some footage of that too, so hopefully that's good. Then they talked about Expendables 4 or Expendables, as I believe it's being titled. Daniel, you're an Expendables. You were part of the Expendables.
I was part of the Expendables, yes.
Yeah. Who were you in there?
I was me. I played myself.
You were Eyebrow Man.
I was Eyebrow Man. The first Expendables, I think it's a dumb movie, but it's
so fun.
It's still fun. And then the second one actually is a pretty good movie. And then the third one's really bad because they decided to instead of telling a story of the characters that you all came to see, let's tell a story about this new group of people coming in. And it's like, no, fuck these people. I don't care about them. I care about the original Expendables. Like, I want to see Stallone and Willis and Schwarzenegger and Antonio Banderas and all of these guys, coming together. I don't care about who these proteges are.
Yeah.
And I think the fourth one is going to right that wrong and tell us a better story.
Do you think we'll see more Stallone in the fourth one because he is titled and?
Yeah, he gets and Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. It's an interesting choice for sure, but I feel like that's just probably for like some type of contract thing.
Maybe you wouldn't lead it with Stallone. You would say, "Oh, he's also in it,"
Yeah,
because
he's front and center. I think on the poster.
Yeah, he's going to be in it.
Yeah,
he's also, I want to say, in his
900s. Yeah,
in his 70s. Like,
I think he's 70s now, isn't he?
He is in the 70s.
Yeah.
There's a point where you can't do the amount of action that we expect these people to do, especially at that age. Like, if I was Stallone, I would be more
Anthony,
creating films that are just a lot less action.
Yeah,
but I think he doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to either. I think
he has potential. Like, he created Rocky. Like, there's so many.
He was so good in Creed as well, and he didn't fight in that at all.
I think it's just
he was fighting something though.
Yeah,
cancer.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Like. And also a little bit about Expendables 4 as well. It's back to being rated R.
Thank God.
That's huge.
Oh yeah. So
PG-13.
Interesting thing do well. With the last one too, it leaked online like a week or two before the movie came out, and there was this big conspiracy theory about did they do this so they could have a lawsuit against the studio and then make their money back that way. I'm like, this is fucking crazy ass shit.
I remember that. I remember that leaked
for those movies to leak. Like, That doesn't happen.
Like, in HD.
And like, it was like a proper leak of the movie. I'm like, how does that happen?
Wait, what else leaked? There was another movie that
X-Men
leaked.
Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, but that was before it was even done the effects.
Previs, yeah, that was previs.
Yeah, I remember watching that on. What are those big TVs called again?
CRTs?
No, like the
DLP.
Yeah, like the ones that the rear projection ones.
DLP projectors.
Yeah. Just watching that like in my cousin's basement and us just like fucking crying of laughter because he's like trying to climb up a building.
Yeah.
And like, or like the silo at the end, and like his fists are closed, but there's no blades on his hand and stuff. It just.
I remember. Yeah, I watched that previous cut as well, and there was moments where I was like, "Oh, this looks really bad. Hopefully they fix it in the movie."
And then you watch the movie, and like, no,
it's still bad.
They didn't fix it.
They didn't fix some of that stuff. We got more information about the Borderlands movie, and the Hunger Games prequel. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
You should have whistled it, but
I didn't want to whistle.
On a mic. I get it.
That's why I literally thought about it, but I'm like, let me not do it to scare people.
I appreciate that. Which will be a Ballad of the Song and the Bird, I believe.
A bird in the hand is two in the bush. Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. No, I know that the book is based on President Snow. I haven't still seen the last Hunger Games film, Mockingjay Part 2. I've seen Part 1. Did not like Part 1, but I loved Catching Fire. I thought Catching Fire was wicked.
Yeah, I feel like I want to revisit that franchise eventually, but
yeah,
I believe it's on sale on iTunes right now.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I think they're all.
I think I own them on iTunes. So.
Oh wow, look at you.
Okay.
Well, because I had them on Blu-ray.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, Blu-ray now.
But that's pretty much all that we had from CinemaCon. Did you guys want to talk anything about CinemaCon?
Like, I just want to say, when did CinemaCon become this event where
last 2 years
it became like an extravaganza?
It was like a Comic-Con, D23, everything. Yeah,
it's literally designed for theater people, theater owners, and maybe people in the industry to go and.
Oh. Sorry, to your point, really quick, I want to shout out Universal, because Universal, for every presentation that they did, they brought out someone that was in the theater industry, whether it was, ushers or VPs or just somebody who works in a movie theater. They brought them out with each presentation. I thought that was really cool.
So funny about too, Steve Carell came out on stage with the manager of the Winston Park Cineplex, which is a Cineplex theater that we've
had a
to.
chat with them many a times.
Yeah, so it's just cool to see that that they're like, oh yeah, let's have these people who are making this business possible for us,
from Oakville to Las Vegas.
But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, when did this?
Everroyd Allen, I just want to say, general manager. Yeah, it's strange, right? Yeah. It's strange.
I
hope it's not a one-off, or because we want to go to this.
Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to go.
We were supposed to go last year.
Yeah,
last year.
But everyone was backing out because it was a weird COVID time too, and it was in August.
It was a variant that was out.
Yeah, the variant.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was. I think wasn't that when
Delta variant?
Delta
Airlines.
Yeah. But also too, I think it's funny that like people look at CinemaCon now, and it was the same thing with Comic-Con back in the day. Comic-Con wasn't a show for fans and stuff like that, but it's become that, and now CinemaCon people look to like it's like the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's just so funny how we look at these things now, where these are supposed to be like events for insiders and for people in this industry, but now we're turning it into like they turn into like these big events. And I'm curious if it's going to go the route of Comic-Con one day, where it's like, why are we all competing for the same stuff? But the only difference is that all the stuff at CinemaCon, most of it only stays at CinemaCon. It doesn't, like, you don't see the footage outside of that, right? Mm-hmm. With the exception of a couple things, but
yeah, no, I like the idea of a something like this for people in the industry.
Yeah,
because we again. Not to bash on fans or anything like that. It's just
it's different. Like Comic-Con is a different
more of a professional environment. It's also a secure environment. Less people likely to leak because it would hurt them in their career.
Yeah, in their careers and the footage that they are creating, right? For and the content they are creating for this, right?
Yeah. No, it's really cool. Like it like literally went from just theater stuff to now talking more about the movies, and I think every year it's only going to get bigger, because we don't really have any, like, I remember I used to watch, like, not watch, but I would wait for CinemaCon to happen because all the posters would come out at this time, and it was always cool to see like what was being worked on. Like I remember CinemaCon was one of the first places where Logan was confirmed to be rated R. Like it was such a small thing, but there's posters that had already come out that said rated R on there, and that was like, oh my god, we have confirmation that this movie is going to be rated R. So that's pretty cool.
But a lot of great stuff that comes out of CinemaCon. A lot of great stuff came out this year, and like I think movies for the first time, like I think since December, even when Spider-Man came out, Spider-Man was a moment, and then especially here in Ontario, theaters closed again right in January. So it's like now is the first time, and I think since Batman, where it's really felt like the movies are back, like things are back to normal, as much as they can be, for better or for worse. But at least movies, we know, like when a movie gets a date, hopefully it sticks that date.
Yeah,
It's not always the case.
No. Next story we have today is director Jon Watts exits Marvel's Fantastic Four. This is coming from Ryan Parker of the THR. Jon Watts will no longer be directing the upcoming Fantastic Four film. Watts, who helmed the massively successful Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home for Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios, has withdrawn from the Marvel Cinematic Universe project. Making 3 Spider-Man films was an incredible and life-changing experience for me. I'm eternally grateful to have been a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I can't wait to see the amazing vision for Fantastic Four brought to life, Watts said in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter. Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president and co-president Louis D'Esposito, said in a statement, "Collaborating with Jon on the Spider-Man films has been a true pleasure. We were looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away. We're optimistic that we will have the opportunity to work together again at some point down the road." Daniel, what are your thoughts on this?
Listen, this was a big blow for sure, because I think we all really love what Jon Watts did. But, he spent the last 7, 8, 9 years of his life working on Spider-Man, and he brought Spider-Man to the highest places Spider-Man has ever gone before. He's brought record box office for the character. He's done crossovers with the MCU. He's given us a trilogy that people genuinely love, and was also a new take on Spider-Man, but also now from the events of No Way Home is also like a reset of Spider-Man, an origin story to now go to the Spider-Man that we know and love from the comics. So he's earned his rest, and I totally respect him for maybe not wanting to jump back into the machine right away.
Yeah.
He's working on another film as well too, I think with Brad Pitt for Apple TV Plus. So yeah, go do your thing. This was very, like, from all the times you see directors leave projects, this one feels the most like, hey, this is nothing against Marvel. I just want to take a break and maybe just relax, maybe make something else before I come back to this type of filmmaking, right? Yeah. So it feels very amicable, which is great, which when we talk about the next story doesn't feel as much that way anymore. But this, again, I'm selfishly, I wish he would have stayed, because I loved what he did at Spider-Man. I want to know who's going to now jump to and fill that role for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Anthony, what about yourself?
Yeah, this is the second director in the past 2 weeks to leave a production. Justin Lin leaving Fast X, and now Jon Watts leaving Fantastic Four, and it does suck. But I don't know what the context of him leaving is. Is it based on the workload? Is it just more personal stuff? We don't know that. But whatever the decision a director makes, I think it's important to get their team and the people who are producing a film with him to understand where he's coming from, and to just it does suck. But I think mental health and just taking time away from a production like this is beneficial for a career. Like, I've said it many times, we live in this world where it's like go, 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 go. And we end up suffering at the end of it. And if this is that scenario, it's good that he's taking the break.
Yeah.
He'll come back better. And I don't think that Kevin Feige, even like Disney and Marvel, they love what he did with Spider-Man, and he has probably a home at Marvel after. Yeah. Again, this was his first Marvel Studios production. So he had an abundance of resources and money, and he could do whatever he wanted without any probably pushback from executives as much as he would probably have gotten from Sony. But yeah, we'll see who's the next director of Fantastic Four.
Who would you want?
I don't know. I don't know if I even want the Fantastic Four. I'm not a big Fantastic Four
You're like a Fantastic 3 kind of guy.
That's us. We're the
Fantastic. They were great in the 60s and so, like, as the original superheroes,
the original superhero family,
from that time period in Marvel. But at this point, they're not as popular. I would rather have X-Men now before I have Fantastic Four.
And I think we will have X-Men before Fantastic Four for sure.
And really? I mean, I guess you're right.
Well, this week.
This week.
But
sorry. I thought we'd get like a rebrand. That's why.
We might. Like we don't know what's going to happen in Multiverse. But I totally get what you're saying too, Anthony. Like I love the Fantastic Four. I grew up reading so many of their comics and their Marvel Adventure comics where they would cross over with Spidey and things like that. I would love to see them done right. But I'm also like, we were coming off of the 2014. Was it 2014 or 2015?
2014.
2014 Fan Four Stick. And then we had the two Tim Story. This is Tim Story, right?
Yep.
Fantastic Four films that weren't great. They had some elements that were
2015,
fun.
sorry.
2015, yeah. But that were out there and weird and just very 2000s movies. But this is the first time that we're going to get a proper like Marvel Studios Fantastic Four. I just hope they get a great director for it. Brad Bird is a name that I think we see get thrown around.
Brad Bird would do great because he has created a family
already,
superheroes
right?
in the Pixar universe. So yeah, that'd be cool for sure.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think who directed Peyton Reed? Ant-Man is another name. I think he's good with Ant-Man. I think let's get new blood in there.
Yeah. What do you guys think about David Yates? He's done Fantastic Beasts. So what's different from Fantastic Beasts to Fantastic Four?
Anthony, do you want to take over hosting this episode?
Man, I don't even know how to answer that, dude.
Could you imagine? Like, I would be so upset. I know they wouldn't, obviously, but if David Yates was ever announced for something like that, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Alejandro Inarritu would probably be great.
Okay, would you cast a spell on me there?
He just has his new film announced too. It's going to Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is supposedly it's going with a lot of production troubles right now. So
what can you do? Maybe he'll leave it as well too.
Maybe he'll leave it as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool people that I think we'd love to see. I think Marvel has a great track record right now of choosing a lot of indie directors as well. Like we have Bassem Tariq, who's going to be doing Blade, for example. We had Chloe Zhao, who did Eternals. So
even Jon Watts doing Spider-Man.
Jon Watts, who came from Clown. So
you know what I just thought? Give it to Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard. It could be another one.
She did a fantastic job with the Mandalorian this year.
Yeah.
Sorry, the
Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett with Mandalorian's episodes. I think she's grown as a director, and I think this would be a great like introduction to a big budget.
Yeah. Do you think that they would want to do that?
You don't have a lot to lose on Fantastic Four because not a lot of people know about it.
Right.
But she can bring it to another level, and if they do lose, then she can.
Yeah, but I also think they don't want to. They don't. Not that she's at risk. I just think Fantastic Four. You can't have a third out with them now. You know what I mean? Like if the next Fantastic Four film doesn't work, we're not going to see the Fantastic Four much after this.
Yeah, but I think they will. Like Marvel's not gonna. Disney's not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah,
I hope. Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we've talked about this many times before, like the director really is just a formality for Marvel most of the time, right? Like these movies are a well-oiled machine. They run no matter what, and they always pump out results. The director attached to it definitely brings their own flair, and they do a lot of work for it. But Marvel's really good at working with them to create something. So I think whoever they put in there will do a great job.
Yeah,
put me in there.
Okay, you do a Fantastic Four film. What would your Fantastic Four film pitch be?
It's a family of four.
Oh, good so far.
One's a rock man. One's a
rock man.
A stretchy man.
Okay, I don't like any of this.
A flamey man.
A flamey man. Yeah.
And the other one's an invisible lady.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong about Marvel. I'm sorry. They probably won't do magic with this one.
And it would take place in New York, and they would have a fantastic building.
Why is so much shit happening in New York? By the way, what is with do comic writers hate the city?
No, just everyone lives in New York, man. Like, who wants to live anywhere else in the States? So, like, when you watch a movie, most movies that you watch, I feel, take place in New York.
Yeah, but also it's never snowing for some reason for them. It's always like because they're like based in California, so they're like, hey, we're only gonna talk about New York when it's summertime.
Yeah,
but I think like Marvel's is a New York-based comic book company. So when it started in New York, and that's where a majority of people
X-Men,
read
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, everyone's there. Yeah, everyone's hanging out in New York City.
Destroying New York City.
I think after that time period, that
Avengers.
we'll say the 20 years, 30 years, then they started branching off to different locations.
Yeah, and that's why when we saw the first Iron Man film, I'm like, oh shit, this is West Coast.
Yeah,
like we don't really see West Coast.
Even if you see West Coast, you don't want your superheroes to be in a West Coast environment because there's not a lot to destroy.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. New York City's like it's
like, a good place to destroy things.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I'm just gonna keep roll
but you know
past
what I'm
that
saying?
one.
Like it's the comic world. Like that's you always go to everything will happen in New York. You're not gonna go to friggin' Mumbai.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why you looked at me for that one.
You know what I'm saying? I did look at you.
You did. You're like we're gonna go to Mumbai, right, Shay?
It's too hot there, and there's not a lot to destroy.
Oh, you should go to Mumbai then, and we should talk about that later. Let's jump into our next story here. And Anthony kind of alluded to it already. Justin Lin is exiting as director of Fast X, and he will remain as a producer. This is coming from Justin Kroll of Deadline. With filming underway on Fast X, Deadline has learned that Justin Lin is stepping down as director of the installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. Sorry, there's just so many Fast and Fantastics nowadays.
And Fantastic.
Just days into production, Lin co-wrote the film with Dan Mazeau and will remain on as a producer. While the parting was amicable between both parties, insiders say that Lin ultimately decided to step away from the franchise due to creative differences. Lin has released a statement on his decision to leave the film. With the support of Universal, I've made the difficult decision to step back as director of Fast X while remaining with the project as producer. Over 10 years and 5 films, we have been able to shoot the best actors, the best stunts, and the best damn car chases. On a personal note, as a child of Asian immigrants, I'm proud of helping to build the most diverse franchise in movie history. I will forever be grateful to the amazing cast, crew, and studio for their support and for welcoming me into the Fast family. Universal Pictures having to replace the Fast X director in the midst of this principal photography could end up costing the studio upwards of $600,000 to $1 million a day. Anthony, what do you think about this?
Yeah, this is what we were talking about before. This is the second director to leave his posting. But this one is close because they literally were starting to shoot.
A weekend.
Yeah. Fantastic Four, nothing's been like shot or casted or anything yet.
So we're in the midst of production, and your director is leaving, and yeah, that is definitely costing you a lot of money. I wonder what happened. Like, there's the way they said it, and it seems like it could be more personal than creative differences. I don't want to speculate. But they need to get a director ASAP, because losing $600,000 to $1 million a day on a Fast and the Furious movie could hurt them in the long run, and especially if it doesn't make the money. And looking at the last Fast and the Furious, didn't make as much money as all the other ones, and it feels like the Fast and the Furious franchise is kind of slowing down. It's that box office that they're trying to expect might not be there anymore. So this is going to hurt them. This is bad. Get someone in, get second director to start directing some of the scenes, and maybe by that time,
they have a script already to go off of, right?
Yeah.
So get a second year director in there. And then if you want, maybe the next couple of days, hopefully you can sign on somebody.
But even like as a director to go into this film, that's a lot of pressure. It's like, oh, can you do Fast and the Furious? And you as a director, yeah, you could probably sign a big paycheck, but that's a lot of pressure on you right now. And who's gonna want to take that? Who wants that pressure of the Fast and Furious franchise instantly?
And it's not just that you are directing the final 2 films, right? And that's the biggest problem right now. Justin Lin is Fast and the Furious. When you look at what has made this series so successful, it's him, right? He is the one who gave it new life with Tokyo Drift. He came back and kind of set things back on course with Fast and Furious, and then Fast 5, which turned the franchise into a different type of series, right? Then Furious 6 came out and set the stage for 7, and then 7, which he didn't do, James Wan did, and then 8, F. Gary did, and then 9 he came back for. Wasn't the greatest film, but also didn't make as much money as you said, Anthony. And then now we actually have a film that started production, and for him to be leaving, and it's Fast X and then Furious 11, like those were the endings of this series. And you have the guy who's kind of led the charge throughout all of this. He's not going to be there for it. It's crazy. And I think if you get another director who comes on now, that's script changes, that's set changes, that's a lot of things. So I think they're just going to have a second unit director maybe step in and just direct what was. Yeah, and it's not even just wrapping up; it's shooting fucking movie now. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, not like the work of a director is. Nothing gets done without a director. No. You know what I mean? So it's like when even like in the case with like Marvel Studios that we were talking about earlier, it's like you need somebody to steer that ship, and when somebody is not there, and especially when a production has started and they're not, you have your captain leaving. This movie, I wouldn't be surprised it's delayed because what are they possibly shooting right now?
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
When you said directors and the whole like the aspect of being a director, I was watching the Hollywood Reporter, and it was a director's episode. Usually do the round table and they have all these directors, and this was about, I think it was 5 years ago, and they had Denzel Washington, Damien Chazelle, Barry Jenkins.
Oh, this is probably from 2016
Mel
2017.
Yeah, I remember. And they were just talking about
2017, because it was for when Denzel did Fences and stuff. Yeah,
and they were just talking about
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge for Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
and First Man for
La La Land.
Yeah.
And they were just talking about the pressures of being a director and like the amount of work that goes into it, and it's a lot of work. Like, you think that it's not, but it's so much. The director is from the beginning to the end, just like a producer. And without these two people, you don't get a movie made.
None.
And when a movie's like about to be made and you try to find someone, and they have to have that vision, and they have to get along with the cast and understand the set dynamics and what each scene means. Like, when you lose that person who's set it all up, it's a clusterfuck. Yeah. It sucks. And I don't know if the caliber of what the expectations were from Universal with this film is now dropped because they don't get the same caliber.
And the cast in this film also, they're very demanding cast. Like, you look at Vin Diesel, for example. This is his pride and joy. The Fast franchise is his. So I'm sure that he's probably just like either not. I don't want to say livid, but he's definitely like he's making it a mission to get that role filled. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I think he's mad for sure because he's a producer on it too.
He's a producer, but I would assume that he also understands wherever Justin Lin's coming from.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
And I don't want. Sorry, I didn't mean mad, but I think he's. Pressured.
Yes,
there's a lot of stress on his plate too.
100%.
Yeah, because like as you said, like as a producer of the film, his job now is not just focusing on acting and everything else with it. He's also like, I need to find somebody who could fill this role.
Yeah,
$1 million a day.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
just give it to us. Let's give 1 day's production to us, guys.
All three of us will direct it.
Yeah.
What are we changing with the movie?
Nothing. I'm just going to shoot exactly what's in the script.
I'm going to shoot it from the perspective of headlights.
I'll be honest, man. It's not that good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet, though.
I don't want to see the headlights.
You look at the headlines, and the movie's doing great. Let's jump into some quick updates. Ant-Man 3, previously dated for July 28, 2023, is now going 4 months earlier on February 17th in Captain Marvel's spot. The Marvel sequel, Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels, and now that's being pushed over to the July 28th spot of next year. So they kind of do a little swapperoo. We also have Adam Sandler, who's confirmed that he's reuniting with the Safdie brothers for a new movie. So Uncut Gems was a great film. We all loved it here, and excited to see what he kind of does next.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, let's jump into some trailers.
Trailer.
We had trailers this week for Bodies. On the count of 3, Miss Harris Goes to Paris and Watcher. Also, the other trailers that dropped during CinemaCon as well. Any trailers here that you guys wanted to kind of touch on?
On the Count of 3 was a really good trailer.
Yeah. On the Count of 3, I think,
very,
was
very cool
the standout for me this week for sure.
Yeah, that was a fun trailer. I really, really dug that one.
I like the storyline. It is a sad storyline, but there's comedy in it, so I'm guessing it's
very dark comedy.
Very dark comedy. But yeah, like the pacing, everything from that trailer really got me wanting to go see it.
Yeah, I know Jared Carmichael right now also has a comedy special out right now that I keep hearing is really, really good. I got to check that out. I think it's on HBO. So yeah, there's a lot kind of going on there. He's definitely had a really good rise, and I'm excited to see what he kind of does next. Any other trailers? Bodies.
But like Bodies, I was looking forward to it because it was another horror film. But
an A24,
and I'm watching the trailer and I didn't care. Like it just seemed noisy and loud and obnoxious, and it gave me like
very Gen Z
vibes and Spring Breaker vibes. And we didn't even get to see a lot of horror that happens in this film.
A lot of reaction.
There's a lot of comedy, and it's also what's his name?
Pete
Davidson comedy, and I'm not a fan of his comedy. He's not funny to me. He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
I guess that's funny in the United States of America, but
this is so specific.
Yeah.
well, I feel like Americans love Pete Davidson, and so does
I don't know.
Kim Kardashian.
I don't know if people really like Pete Davidson. Like, I have nothing against him. I feel no ways.
He always looks sick to me. You know,
Maybe
like
he is sick.
I think he is sick, but like,
oh, so now you're gonna call him out on being
but he
sick?
he looks like he's always like either sick or he's on drugs.
Maybe
it's like a druggy.
Like there's a sickliness to him.
Yeah. Like I don't know, and he looks like Goofy too.
Like the
like
dog?
a sick Goofy.
What?
Yeah, like the Disney character without the kind of does. He's tall, right? Lanky and goofy looking.
There's a lot to type and package from that.
A lot of to unpackage. Yep.
Out this week, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So we like Daniel mentioned at the beginning, we will be having our review drop for that this week, alongside our interview with Sam Raimi and Michael Waldron, which will be on Wednesday. So yeah, my days of the week are a little confused.
It's about to get strange out here.
Yeah, that's your Doctor Strange movie. Looks like things are getting a little strange. Anybody call for a doctor? Like, that's you.
Yeah, that would be on the poster.
Make sure you don't eat any apples today because you want the doctor to come visit. And yeah, I don't know
about that one. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into what we're watching. Let's start off with the top, go to the bottom, and then back to the top again with Anthony.
So I've been watching The Offer.
Okay.
And you can hear our review on our podcast channel, and you can go to YouTube as well.
I thought you forgot the name of the show for a second.
The podcast channel?
The podcast.
That's the movie watch. Channel 5.
Really liking The Offer. I like it. I like the show. I like it a lot. And I wish, there was more shenanigans for a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh,
because The Godfather 2, we talk about The Godfather being like huge, but it didn't win a lot. It didn't win the Academy Awards like Godfather 2 did, where it just everything.
It was swept, yeah.
It killed everything.
But it won Best Picture though, right? And
they both won Best Picture. That's like the big one.
But he never won Best Director. Francis Ford Coppola never won it. So
Best Screenplay.
Sure. Cabaret, I think, won it that year.
What?
Cabaret, yeah.
For Best Director? Yeah.
I've never seen Cabaret, but I just know. Started watching Atlanta season 3.
Yep.
Interesting dynamic to this season. It's been a really long time since season 2.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot where it ended, but now, I did like a little recap video, and it takes place in Europe, and Paperboy's on his European tour, but they throw in a lot of these bottled episodes, especially where the first episode is a bottle episode, and then I think every 3 episodes there's another bottle episode.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And I like the bottle episodes when they include the cast. These bottle episodes are just short stories that are, I think, in the world of this of Atlanta 100%.
Yeah, I think it's like we have these ideas for a story that we want to tell the story, but it's doesn't relate to the characters that are happening, but it's still part of their worlds.
Like they wanted to do a spin-off, but they didn't want to do it officially, so they were like testing the waters with this.
Yeah, and that's I like the bottle episodes from the previous seasons because it included the cast, and it was just weird, and they would be caught in these situations. But these bottle episodes are very focused on diversity, black, white, what it means. There's also like this eeriness to this season too, like this scariness.
Yeah,
because they talk
it's almost
about
it reminds me of like Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it does. It gives me the vibes of Get Out, because I think Gambino and the whole team really wanted to focus on, and I think this was after George Floyd, the like what it's like to be an American now after the BLM movement, and what it's like to be white in this world now. And they talk about a lot of things. I don't want to spoil it. It's super interesting. It's not that I'm a fan of, I just wish I saw more of the individual stories. And if I was comparing it to anything, because it takes a lot of the different genres and tries to mash it together, very similar to Barry, where it's taking different genres of films and TV stuff, putting it into one piece. Barry, I feel like hits the nail on the head with that, and Atlanta's just in this weird spot with me.
And Atlanta reminds me a lot of I love Donald Glover. I think he could be a very strange dude sometimes.
Yeah, he's interesting now.
He's interesting now, especially
like
the last
changed.
the last. I think 2018.
Maybe it's me.
Like is I think when he was at his peak when when This Is America came out, and Atlanta season 2, and then we heard that he was going to be in and then Star Wars Solo, and then Lion King. So like there was a lot of stuff going on with him. In the last 4 years, he's been a bit more quiet, and he came back with this season of Atlanta, which they shot 3 and 4, I believe, together.
Yeah.
And I'm liking this season, but I also think that the season feels like it is trying harder to be more intellectual than the previous 2 seasons, where the previous 2 seasons just relied on telling their stories and having fun with it. And this feels like a bit of a darker path for the show, which in terms of the subject matter, which is great too, but I feel like it's missing some of the magic that made the first 2 seasons more special. And I think it could just be a product of 4 years in between making of a show coming out and being released. Like that's a product for a lot of shows that are dealing with, right? There's a lot of, because of the pandemic, a lot of things have been delayed from when we were, I think they may have hit maybe even more. But also a lot has happened in the last 4 years where, the States especially are in a very different spot than where they were in 2018 versus now. Yeah. Right?
For sure. This show, every episode is delivering a message that you should be understanding. There's a lot of social commentary, but I feel like I don't want that anymore. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like with Atlanta, it was a simple story. And yes, there was social commentary, but now it's like really focused on that. And
right.
Not on as much as on the characters. And I want to see that. I want to see these characters grow. And I don't know how the 4th season is going to end.
It'll be interesting.
Because I feel like there's a political and emotional side to this whole series after the past 2 years of events.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like this season, it kind of carries the same kind of tone and feeling that the Teddy Perkins episode did. Because that was a fantastic episode.
It included characters from the show.
Like Keith, for example.
Yeah.
And you wish to carry that forward.
Wasn't Donald Glover?
He played Teddy Perkins.
Yeah.
You don't get that. There are some weird, there's episode 2 was really it felt like Midsummer.
Episode 2?
Yeah, episode 2 of Atlanta. Did you watch episode 2?
Yeah, but that's when they're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not watch it?
Yeah, we did.
Remember Remember the dude in the bed who's dying?
Oh yeah.
That's episode 2, right?
Yeah, it comes the curtain falls on him.
Yeah,
you're right. That was. Sorry, I kind of forgot about that part because I remember the beginning was very normal.
That was very shocking.
And then it went into this weird
And I love that stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
But then they go into those bottle episodes.
Yeah.
Where
I think the bottle episodes. That's where I miss the casts. That's where you miss the cast from the show more. But yeah.
Sorry if I spoil it for the cast. Or for the audience.
No,
what else do I have there? I put on Tokyo Vice. I finished that. You can hear my review of it. I think it's a well-made show, and I think you should watch it if you're on. If you have HBO Max or Crave, it's a great show to watch.
Sure.
Or series.
Cool. Dan, what about yourself?
A bit of a quiet week for me. I'm just forgetting stuff. Just been catching up on a lot of TV, which you could hear our TV extravaganza review episode that's out right now. Finished The Dropout, which I really liked. I just think too that. Man, I just really hated Elizabeth Holmes and what's his face?
Sonny Balwani?
Yeah, they're just awful people, and I one of the things that I think I struggled.
Her brother, I hated her brother a lot.
Yeah, too. I think one of the things that I struggled with towards the end of the show is that when it was being introduced, the plot line of the journalists, I wish that was more of a through line throughout all of the show, because I think the show spent too much time with Elizabeth, and even at the end, it felt like it was trying to make us sympathize with her a little bit more. But I wish we got more of the journalists trying to get her throughout the show, or just people trying to really take him down. Other than William H. Macy, who kind of felt like he was a bit more an antagonist to her, and then they're oh no, we're actually on his side now. But I still really enjoyed the show. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man No Way Home, I rewatched this week, obviously in preparation of Multiverse of Madness, and because we got the Expendables news last week, I rewatched the first Expendables film, and Atlanta, obviously we were just finished talking about.
Nice. For myself, we watched Doctor Strange, and then Thor Ragnarok. I just had to follow it up with after because Thor Ragnarok is such a good movie. I love watching that movie. X-Men First Class, something just made me want to watch something that is related to X-Men. And
I wonder what it could be.
and obviously, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness is coming out, but none of those cast members are in Doctor Strange. Well, at least not that we know of. But I love X-Men First Class, and it's been a while since I've watched it. Dope Sick I started because I know you guys kept saying it's really good, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really cool so far. Rewatched Superbad because why not? Such a funny movie, and also this is the end because that is also such a funny film. I know it has your favorite actor in there as well, Anthony.
I like the end. I just felt like how it ended was anticlimactic.
How else can you end it though?
I don't know, but like,
wait, this is the end?
Yeah.
It just kind of ends. They just die.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, they die.
And then
This is the end of the world.
Then they dance.
But the beginning was really funny, but then once they got out of the house, it just became.
It does slow down at that point a little bit, yeah. But I mean, I still really like it.
Yeah, man. You do you.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, Sam Raimi's going to be on the movie podcast this week.
Sam Raimi
said he hates
Michael Waldron. He hates what?
This is the
Shabazz.
And Shahbaz.
That's not possible.
Yeah, I called him up.
You called him up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him again because I have his number now. So I'm gonna be like, "Hey, is it true what you said?"
Just confirming. Just want to confirm this story
and
before we run it.
He'll literally look at me through the FaceTime call and be like, "That smug bitch, Anthony. I'll kill him." And then that's it. And the call ends. Well, that was all we had this week for the Movie Podcast. As always, you can catch a brand new episode every single Monday and watch out throughout the week for our review episodes on all the latest movies and series. And make sure to follow the Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. And also, you can watch us on YouTube. Our handsome faces are on there as well.
Like and subscribe.
Follow for more. Ring the bell for more options. Right? That's how it works?
Yeah. You can ring that bell.
Ring that bell, because that way you get notified.
Shay brings all the milkshake.
What? I ring.
His milkshake brings all the voice.
I ring all the milkshakes. What is that, like a fucking riddle?
So I think Shay was singing like "You Could Ring My Bell," and then you were singing "Milkshake" for some reason.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying "Ring the bell," guys. You guys turned into something weird.
Yeah. There's no milkshakes if you ring a bell.
There's no milkshakes.
Just want to confirm.
There's no ringing of a bell.
Legally,
anymore.
we cannot offer you milkshakes.
I was just doing a Quasimodo thing. And also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and write into hello@themoviepodcast.ca. Join our Discord and check out our show notes for all that and more. That was This Time with the Movie Podcast.
And we'll see you next.